Welcome to today's presentation. I am a corporate pleb, and this is How to Corporate. Today we'll be reviewing the idiot factor in business. What is it, and how you're going to look out for yourself? The majority of people in corporate life are there not so much because of merit or qualification, but rather because the HR rep who got hired last week needed to shove a body in a chair, and they picked literally anyone from a stack of resumes and said, let's give them a whirl. The quality control process for any worker is to see if they are a good fit over a 90-day probation period under employment, which means that they will fail or succeed during that time, and everyone sitting next to them will be wholesale exposed to their trial run. It's an unfortunate reality of corporate that there is no staging area for new employees and that they are thrown right into production, potentially causing havoc. Alas, this is how corporate do, so there's no controlling it as a pleb, which is what we are. So now, if these 90 days, let's see how it goes employees are your coworkers, any client you have is effectively in the same boat, just at another company. This means that clients, just like your coworkers, are as prone to being unqualified to being in their seat talking to you as anyone off the street would be. This is relevant because people unqualified to be in corporate make mistakes. They get into trouble. They do things wrong, and then when the office is on fire, they shrug their shoulders and don't even help put out the fire they started. For you, as a common worker pleb, you will be able to do nothing other than watch the parade of idiotic clients and coworkers as it passes by, making a mess. And as anyone with a brain knows, being around an idiot for too long, you can get caught in the gravity well of their idiocy very quickly. Because you don't want to be guilty by association, remember, as a pleb, you need to watch yourself. A pleb is always 1 foot out the door. Defending yourself requires constant vigilance. To protect yourself from the idiots surrounding you, it is important to place controls to shield yourself from the shenanigans they get up to. Idiots need control. Lots of it. Idiots need to be handheld through life. They run across the street without looking. They open their mouths at the wrong time. They jump into a puddle of water head first thinking it's a pool. Idiots are chaos manifest, and they will be coming in your direction. In whatever line of work you do, as a corporate pleb, always remember both coworkers and clients will have idiots in no short supply. You will not be able to stop all of them from wrecking things. You can control for it though. The process is simple. No matter what it is you are doing, just assume if there's any process involved, someone will do the process incorrectly. They may do it by accident or maliciously. The motivation is irrelevant, the result is always disaster. This is why coffee cups have warning labels on them about it being hot. Someone somewhere will abuse a process. For you, you are just trying to keep yourself safe and working another week. So just role play with yourself and ask, how could I screw this thing up completely? Ask and answer that question a dozen times over to yourself in relation to a thing, and place control measures preventing those weak points, and you will control for idiots ruining things to a large degree. You basically want to put a baby gate up on all doorways in and out of a process as it relates to you. They won't be impossible to get around, but they should be strong enough that a moronic baby with a handful of crayons isn't headed straight towards the white wall without impediment. So always put in controls that are just enough that keep people from having to navigate through them to ruin things. Now, there is no such thing as idiot proof. No matter what you do, no matter how many angles you think of and how careful you're planning, no matter how thoroughly you train a client and inform them, or train a coworker and show them how to do their job, there's always an idiot who will come into the picture and instantly ruin things. An idiot will come in and so completely and utterly ruin your best efforts with seemingly no effort, no intention to do so, and no thought behind their actions. A true idiot isn't so much a force of nature as a guided expression of entropy pointed at your life, and they will screw it all up. But since you know this ahead of time, just need to do two things. First of all, number one, don't worry about getting anything perfect. You can't. Just get everything to about a 70-80% of where you think perfect is, and let the last 20 to 30% take care of itself. Second thing is, in terms of control and making things as idiot proof as you can, second thing is to make sure you have indemnification clauses applied liberally into your business. When an idiot ruins things, when, not if, and you and your company land in court, you need a get out of jail free card. Now, for a pleb, you aren't running your own business in most cases, and legal forms and processes might be far removed from your day to day. But remember, as your company does not care for you in the slightest, they also don't care if you get hung out to dry when an idiot ruins something that results in a court case. If you oversell something, or if you overpromise and underdeliver, or otherwise mislead a client, and they end up pointing a finger at you and blame gets to fall on you, your company doesn't really have any defense to keep you from getting into trouble because they didn't care to put any in place. So sometimes you might end up on your own even if you are a low-level pleb. So you have to make sure that there are clauses for indemnification all over the place in terms of what you're doing. So these are going to be overall defense against these idiotic clients and coworkers for their nonsense. You can potentially land in court or the unemployment line or both if you don't have a company that has this in place. So always just make sure that somewhere there's some sort of indemnification clause for what it is you are doing or selling that is client facing and internally facing, because if things circle back to you, the company will be the first ones to wave their hands and say not it, and you might get stuck with it. So recall that defense as a pleb in corporate life is radically important to your survival in corporate life and continued longevity. So indemnification protects you as a common worker. Just make sure that your company has something in place. This is something that you can easily do. Just check with legal on any products or services that you're actually involved with and say, what's the liability for me if things go radically wrong? Because remember, an idiot pointed in your direction can make things go radically wrong. You always need to know what the nuclear options are on your end if things go bad. Long and short of it, there is a swirling sea of idiots around you at any given time in corporate who run around all day, every day, breaking things. Some do it for fun, some do it because of just ignorance, and some do it on purpose for their own gain. And you will see this all the time, every day. There won't be a day in corporate that goes by that you don't see someone do something completely and obviously idiotic. It may not always be happening in your direction, but you can rest assured at some point there will be an idiot that ends up landing in your lap, and you need to be prepared for that. In order to not get caught up in it, control your specific corner of the office, wherever that may be, and keep idiots at arm's length proactively by having measures and controls in place already, so that if an idiot has to approach you, they have to go through a long path to get there. Idiots have a hard time navigating the world of corporate in terms of red tape. So if someone gets to you, it means they were smart enough to figure out how to get to you on a particular issue, in which case you're probably not dealing with an idiot. It's always important. Coworkers and clients will come at you regularly looking to destroy things. So it's up to you to ensure you are not standing there picking up broken things when the boss comes around. The boss will look at you and you will be unguarded. So be wise and protect yourself. Thank you for joining me. Please come back and explore the corporate world from the standpoint of a common worker pleb at any time. See you soon.